seems like something that's just so silly. Like, I mean, yeah, like things change. You know, that's kind of what my thought
Well,
on
they
it.
do change.
Right. So I didn't. But so when you hear people talk about like, yeah, climate change and the Earth is getting warmer, I'm like, I mean, I guess eventually we'll have to at some point. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That's me.
and that's correct. Like the planet has gone through like cooling and warming periods over time, but when you think about those, they were always like naturally influenced. What we're seeing now is climate change that's man-made, that's like human influence, human induced from the things and activities that we do.
Are
So,
you sure though? Because we
Oh,
really don't
absolutely.
populate that much of the planet though.
but
Okay.
we affect the whole entire planet.
Yeah.
J and A, I don't know.
You gotta look at look at it like this. All of our waste, right? It's not really getting recycled. So everything it's like an engine. So everything has to work together. Everything has to work together. So if you throw one thing off, like all the fish dying in the sea and overfishing, right? And that's part of the ecosystem. So then something else is gonna be thrown off. You see what I'm saying? Just like they using all these fertilizers and weed stuff, and they can't grow certain foods, and they're using GMOs. So it's like throwing off the chemistry of everything.
Yeah.
You seeing people with more
But
cancer.
the
Cancer wasn't
people,
around 50, 60 years ago.
people
No,
like just
cancer
like
has
the
been
planet.
around, but it
Yeah,
not
It
as
wasn't killing
prevalent
like
but
it is
the
now.
planet. I
Yeah.
think, but I think the planet, just like people, are going to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah.
I think the planet adapts to whatever. Like the
Yeah, with
planet,
the
the
climate
planet
change.
done been through several extinction level events where motherfuckers done been here and been gone. They
Right.
been here and been gone. Like right now, it's just our turn, and the planet is just adjusting to what's going on right now. I don't think it's a we burn out. I don't think there's a point where we run through the natural resources.
No, we're not gonna run through the natural
Yeah,
resources.
like that
What's
ain't
gonna
gonna happen.
happen is that
No, it's not really running through the now.
if we run out of
We
natural
can run through
resources,
the
we would
resources,
we
human
would
resources.
humans would go extinct, and then the earth would replenish
Reset.
itself
Mm.
and keep going without humans.
But we ain't gonna do it. We
I
ain't,
mean, look at
we
I look at it
not,
like this.
bruh, we not affecting the earth as much as like I do. Like say if you put a percentage bar
not
on
enough to
it.
do our lifetime. Well,
That's what I'm saying. If you put a
Well,
percentage bar
yeah.
on it, it's like we like doing 1.1% damage. Like, bruh, it's parts
No,
of this
we're doing
planet
more
that we
damage.
ain't even.
way
It's
more
parts of the
damage.
planet we ain't even been to. It's parts of the ocean we ain't been to. It's land we haven't explored. It's still territory we don't even know. That shit could be. It's endless shit that niggas just don't know.
But all of
Yeah,
those
but
areas are being impacted because even areas in like the upper levels of the Swiss mountains and the Swiss Alps, where there's no habitation or anything, they sent crews out there to do studies and like take samples. They found microplastics out there. Plastic. Basically
Plastic, like
plastics that's broken up and like floated in the air, gotten in the water.
Yeah.
When they particles break up, the like water droplets can carry them.
mm,
Nobody's out there for
They even say
hundreds of
newborn
miles.
babies have traces of microplastics in their system.
Yeah,
shit is everything. I mean, the shit that shit
plastic
is
is everywhere.
different.
Look at all this plastic we
I
have.
mean, shit is just different. I mean, you could just look at the kids, like look at the 15-year-olds now, and
Oh,
look
yeah.
at the 15-year-olds when we was 15. Like you could just tell something's different. Like them niggas
Yeah,
big
you
as
can.
shit. They got full beds and shit. Like you can just tell it's something in the food or in the water. But it's one of those things where it's like you can. It's one of those things where you can like spend your whole life like racking your brain trying to figure it out, but this shit ain't gonna take you nowhere, Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was telling you that episode when we used to talk about the conspiracies and shit. I got to a point where I was like, man, this shit ain't nothing coming from this. Like these are all interesting things to talk about, but at the end of the day, if you get too invested, you gonna burn your brain out because it ain't no end to that shit. You just gonna keep fucking going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Climate
but
change is real though.
yeah.
I do think
Climate
climate
has to
change is
be
real, but I
addressed.
just don't think it's like when you say it's had to be addressed. Or what?
Or you go to get it's like this. So
No, let's hear from. We have a
oh, yeah,
scientist.
go
No,
here.
go
ahead.
ahead.
We got a
Yeah,
whole
take
scientist
that.
right here.
Go ahead.
Or we're gonna cause our own extinction.
In what manner? I'm just when I'm like, oh, what do you?
So climate change, when people hear it, they're like global warming, this, that, and the third. Like, okay, the glaciers are melting. Oh no, that's so bad, but glaciers are melting. Sea levels are rising, putting more water out there, more intensity of the storms. You know, some places are receiving too much water, some places are receiving too little water.
Haiti.
Some places are too dry, so the fires spread larger and faster, like we've been seeing all year. When the floods come,
The Amazon burnt.
yeah, when the floods come and they dump the water, and those hurricanes sit on top of the city, then you have those Hurricane Harvey situations. When you have areas like Maryland that all of a sudden we're used to seeing hurricanes now. Hurricanes are normal to see. Did you grow up thinking hurricanes were normal?
Yeah, I saw tornadoes. I've lived in Maryland my whole life.
Yeah,
I
but
seen
were
a tornado
hurricanes-
when I was little. So
Every summer were you expecting hurricanes?
Not every summer, not every summer.
but no, but when they came, you weren't thrown off by them. But
They just got stronger. They've
they
been
just
getting
were,
stronger. More
but
frequent.
it was more frequent. Like when I was young, I can probably remember like a few when I was young, and then as I got older, every year there's a new hurricane with a new name.
So let's just think about the crops specifically. The farmers are in a lot of trouble with climate change.
Yes,
Because
But
their whole
they got
industry is
other
like-
industries against them though, so they got a lot of shit going on.
They have a lot of stuff, trade wars, all that good stuff, but the climate is really working against them and not in their favor in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know that's my industry though, so I do know that.
Then you got to think about those areas where it's sinking. You know, Norfolk, Virginia is one of the fastest sinking areas in Virginia. The land is actually sinking and the
Yeah.
sea level is rising. So all that water is going to be coming inland. Coastal cities are going to be disappearing. And in our lifetime, not like 50 years, like in like 10 years, things are going to be looking completely different.
It has been a lot of fun.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. Like Miami, do you see what's going on in Miami? And then the most displaced people are going to be the people that don't have the resources to fight against it, nor the voices or platforms to elevate their voices and causes, concerns, and needs. So they don't have any measures to stay in place. It's not feasible or smart to stay in place. Then,
Hold on. So what's actually happening in Miami? Then? I'm not hip.
Miami has a lot of sea level rise issues, and they have a lot of recurrent flooding.
Like Louisiana.
Yeah, just like Louisiana, but parts of the city that are higher in elevation, the property value is higher now because they can build there and stay. Because the other parts that were originally extremely valuable right along the coastline are going to be disappearing because they're going to be in the water soon.
You say 10 years?
Easily.
At the
Alright.
rate we're going.
Yeah.
At the rate we're going.
But those areas that are higher in elevation, like Little Haiti, those like poor areas.
Right, they're gonna just kick all the niggas out and put white people there.
Yeah, climate
Yeah,
gentrification is
yeah.
real.
Climate gentrification. Alright, this is a new one. You hear from me this time of the day. Alright, so why is there's no measures to put in place to prevent stuff? Like what the fuck they call it, a levee or whatever the fuck they had that shit they had in supposedly they had in New Orleans. Like I mean like just in case the levels of the water get too high and it's gonna flood these cities out and shit like that.
Those are flood control measures, but
I mean, but that would be what happens to these. You just talk about these joints just gonna just the levels of water. So it's nothing you can do for that now.
what you gonna do against the ocean?
Go up under the city. I don't fucking know. I don't
What
know.
you gonna do against the ocean?
I don't know. Go under it and lift the shit up.
It's one thing to fight a creek or even a river, but what you gonna do against the ocean?
So you think that's why the Jetsons all the houses was on stilts?
Yeah.
We done destroyed the whole planet.
Yeah.
Huh.
That would make sense. That would make all the sense.
We just destroyed the whole planet. Damn.
It's a lot of
So
animals
you-
going extinct.
So you think
Yeah.
that you
Oh,
think that all of the niggas was on the ground? Because you know it wasn't no black people in the Jetsons. So you think if you went to the ground, all the niggas lived on the ground and all the white people had them joints up to the top?
I think that would be very possible.
Oh, that's wild as shit. Damn. I mean, again, I didn't think climate change was fake. I just didn't think it was a drastic, like, oh my God, this is like world-ending things we're doing.
Climate change affects the stock markets and global forex economy.
All that shit fake. I don't want to hear all that shit. All that shit is made up shit. That shit be blowing me, dog. I be hating that he's talking about that shit.
Don't you? I know when you in that produce section, that shit go up.
Yeah.
Man, we don't.
I
But
know
we
when in
just-
California, all that stuff burning had to cost
We don't
something.
We don't give shit. No, nobody. You're not getting vegetables from California to Maryland.
Yes, you are.
No, we not. All that shit. Barely.
A lot like
do you shop at Giant?
California.
No, I
said
work.
they
I
like-
work
they
in the
like that,
commissary. I
like,
work in the commissary. So most of our shit.
Florida.
So the most of the shit we get.
Like a
from,
lot of oranges
one
come
thing
from
we'll
Florida.
probably get from California is probably strawberries. Other than that, they get a lot of that shit on the Eastern Seaboard because the shit be freezer burnt when you send it over. Niggas don't be wanting that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I would implore you to look at all the ways.
I know y'all get a lot of stuff from Mexico.
Because you be
See, a lot of that shit is so wild with this. It'll be like it was produced here or some shit, but then they send it somewhere else and put the stickers on it and shit.
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
so
yeah.
like they get real
so they might
funny with
finesse
it.
it. Yeah, they might.
So
just
it all
second-hand.
depends. So like Safeway, Giant, all of them, because of who they roll with their distributors, they get their shit from whoever they can get it from. But like I say, because while I work with a commissary, our shit like, and it's funny that you brought up Norfolk, Virginia, because my company is based out of Norfolk, Virginia. That's where all our trucks come from. They try to outsource almost everything they can off the Eastern Seaboard to avoid the shit like you getting all this, because they gotta freeze the shit to send it because it's vegetables. So they shit that got short shelf lives. So they gotta freeze the shit to send it. So they try, but like I say, strawberries, some shit you just can't get over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most of that shit you can get on this seaboard because it's gonna come from down south, from down there somewhere, and just come make its way up. But like shit like pistachios and shit, but it don't matter. That come from over there. Yeah, you know, all that shit. It's another couple of some more shit. All the vegetables and shit. That's all right here. Virginia,
Down south.
Pennsylvania, Carolinas, yeah, Florida's all the orange groves and shit in Florida. All our plants coming from Florida and shit. But a lot of joints, but you will see like that the one of the popping joints that have joint Driscoll's, they got such a popping ass. They sending trucks out across the joint, across the whole motherfucking country. Them niggas getting money. I got a joint already loaded up for you, bro. There you go. Them niggas getting money, but everybody don't got that type of distribution set up to get that shit off efficiently.
But the climate change affects the animals going extinct too.
That's part of the process. Like, I just be looking at shit like that shit. Some of that shit's supposed to happen.
We've lost like 2/3 of the insects we're supposed to have. 2/3.
I mean, am I wrong for thinking that sometimes some of that shit is supposed to happen? Is everything supposed to live? Everything supposed to
Without
make it
the-
all the way through the process, this whole Earth cycle process? Everything's supposed to make it through? We're not gonna make it through the end of it.
It's got to if it's gonna keep sustaining 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 billion every few years. The number of people is going up by the billion, which if through all the history of time, the population increased very slowly. And then it wasn't until the Industrial Revolution and modern medicine that the population skyrocketed.
Well, because people started living longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no,
You
I mean,
made
it's a
birth.
lot of things.
They made birth easier. Medicine made it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of things that came into play, but you alright over there? But yeah, so, well, like I say, I just think that certain things is just part of the natural process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so let's just say, so you think we're gonna get to a point where we've overpopulated the earth?
Mm-hmm.
I don't be thinking that. I don't know why. I just think niggas gonna have to get used to living in some other places. We might overpopulate all the popping shit. Alright, nigga, go figure out how to live in Antarctica. Go figure out how to live in the South Pole. Go populate some of that shit. You know, populate some of that shit in Asia.
Yeah, raise your hand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go populate some. Go figure out how to aerate shit in the desert or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely think it's gonna come to that point.
I think it'll come to that point too, where we're gonna have to like mechanize a lot of like, you know, spheres to live in.
To elevate, we got to start living up on the poles.
I don't know, Jefferson like.
I mean, it's a lot of it's it's place down Florida and shit like it's like that already.
Well, yeah, they have to elevate the homes because
Because of the
the
floods,
flooding.
yeah. So you
That's
think you
everywhere
going
in the
in?
country.
Yeah, you think you going in? I mean, but even if that's just like say this mass shit, this COVID shit is just something that never goes away, then like that's just part of the process. Like even if that shit starts killing niggas in the droves, like sometimes some of that shit literally just be part of like the earth got its own plan. The niggas just y'all here and y'all just gotta live through what I got going on. Like
It's crazy that you say that because in the beginning, when my son was like, "Well, what's happening?" Like the very beginning, I said, "For one, it's gonna take about 1.5 years for us to get through this." And he was like, "That long?" I said, "Yeah, it'll be like the end of next summer, maybe." He was like, "No way." Yes way.
yeah, I knew it was gonna be a road
And
trip.
I also told him, he said, "So what's gonna happen?" I said, "I think eventually we're all gonna have to get it. Like everybody's gonna breeze through the population, and we're gonna have to build some kind of herd immunity." So I told him that, and then I just like went on with life, quarantine, and stuff. And when it dawned on me, look at what happened at the end of the Spanish flu. The Spanish flu that happened 100 years ago. That was.
I think
like
that was different though. Yeah, when
pandemic.
but you know when the end of that shit, all of the masked niggas end up burying. All of them unmasked niggas end up burying all the masked niggas. Because they end up catching up bacteria and shit because of the mask and shit, because that drink was different, though.
I mean, that was a lot of different stuff out there.
Yeah.
But that didn't end with a vaccine or anything. It ended because it just eventually, like 70% of the population got it. And then the
Most
other
niggas
people
gonna go
died.
through it, yeah.
And then everybody else was, you know, there weren't enough people to pass it around because so many people got it. And I think that's the herd immunity that we end up going to before we end up getting the vaccine.
I mean, because you gotta think. I mean, I don't see a point where you get everybody to fucking agree to the vaccine. I can see right now. I'm sitting here looking like I'm not fucking with that.
Taking it.
I'm not giving my kids that shit. What my kids ain't taking shit.
No.
Not some shit that y'all cooked up in 6 months. That's my. I'm not an anti-vaccine person. I'm just an anti-rush, some dumb shit person. Like, yeah, I know that you gotta take 5 years to develop a vaccine. Take your 5 years, nigga. We'll figure it out until then. I'm not fucking with that shit.
Well,
that's some craziness.
I saw Farrakhan give a speech, and he said the vaccine. I'm a trusted man that's lived a long life and knows how to navigate life and follow his advice on something like that. And, you know, technically we got a religious exemption. Once a religious leader says something like that, don't take it. Hey, they have religious exemption and everything else, right?
I don't see them enacting a thing where niggas gotta take this joint because
if Donald Trump is president, I see him trying to.
It's too many white folks that's gonna oppose. It ain't just niggas that ain't gonna fuck with that shit. Like it's certain shit that I can see. Like if it's just gonna disproportionately affect niggas, that's gonna get everybody. If you say everybody gotta take it, then everybody gotta take it. I mean, I'm sure some white people are gonna find their loophole around, but. That's gonna get everybody. I'm saying like, well, where we going to Canada? Because I don't got time, so.
I definitely don't.
I'm already sketchy about fucking vaccines, anyways. So some Russia ass shit, nah, I don't know. I can't do it. I know this broad who she swear up and down. I'm like, and I've been vaccinated, kids vaccinated, all that shit. But this girl, she swear up and down that shit gave her son autism. And I'm just like, who the fuck am I to tell you that ain't where the fuck it came from? I don't know.
I've heard other people say that too.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I can't say. But that's